I slept with him just for revenge, a married woman and a rich, handsome guy. But when I tried to leave, he pushed me into a deeper abyss. You can't leave me, or I'll make you wish you were never born. He said his love for me was destined from the moment we met until death. 3 days later, Isabel Lopez and Tony Camel finalized their divorce at the Civil Affairs Bureau. The red booklet was swapped for a blue one. Their marriage was officially out of service. As they left, Tony Camel said, "Isabel, over the years, I really did let you down. I sincerely hope you live better than I do. But I still have to say Jason Smith might like you, but he's not reliable. The Smith family, as the richest in City A, will never accept a divorced woman as their daughter-in-law." Isabel Lopez smiled, but all warmth was buried deep in her eyes. "No need for your concern, Mr. Tony." Even so, Latina Lopez's sharp voice rang out from behind. "Jason Smith might be rich and handsome, but he's got awful taste. What's so great about a divorced woman? He's just chasing a thrill. I can't wait to watch Isabel Lopez's little rich wife fantasy crash and burn. Getting dumped over and over? That's gotta be tragic." Isabel Lopez kept walking, never stopping, but her nails dug deep into her palm, and the pain shot straight to her heart. That night, after ripping up her marriage certificate, Isabel Lopez dragged Ana Mera out to celebrate. They picked a classy little bar. "Isabel, pace yourself. If you get drunk, I'm not dragging your butt home," Ana Mera said, stopping her from reaching for another bottle. "A guy like Tony Camel isn't worth your tears." "Nope." Isabel Lopez slowly pulled back her hand. She propped her chin up with one hand, elbow on the table, staring at Ana Mera. "I'm happy. After 11 years of trials, I've finally escaped hell. Isn't that worth a toast?" "Hell yeah, it is. If you want a drink, drink. Just promise me this is the last time you waste alcohol on him." "Lend me your phone. Mine's dead," Ana Mera said, while rummaging through Isabel Lopez's bag, grabbing her phone and stepping aside to make a call. By the time she came back, Isabel Lopez had already polished off more than half the bottle. This time, Ana Mera didn't stop her. "Ana Mera, no one loves me. They're all just waiting to laugh at my pain." Isabel Lopez let out a low laugh, her voice full of sorrow. But when she looked at Ana Mera, her face was stubborn. "But I'm not giving them the satisfaction. They want to see me fall? I'll show them how to shine." Ana Mera poured herself a drink and downed it in one go. "Isabel, love isn't a fair trade. When it's not ours anymore, the only way forward is to let go." "Ana Mera, I started letting go a year ago. Now, I'm over it for real." Isabel Lopez hugged the bottle, nuzzling it with her cheek, already tipsy and dazed. After a long while, Ana Mera saw a man walking over. She glanced at Isabel Lopez, grabbed her purse, and walked toward him. As she passed him, she said, "She's had too much. Take good care of her for me." When she'd used Isabel's phone to call him earlier, she asked about his feelings. He told her he loved Isabel with all his heart, seriously. "I will." Ana Mera nodded and walked away. Ana Mera. Her steps paused slightly. Jason Smith turned his head toward her. "How have you been these years?" Back facing him, Ana Mera smiled faintly. "Pretty good." Jason Smith hesitated, then opened his mouth. Back then. "You should go to Isabel. I'm leaving now." "Isabel." Jason Smith walked over, sat beside Isabel Lopez, and gently lifted her face. Her cheeks were warm to the touch. She dozed off, half-conscious. Jason Smith took off his coat and wrapped it around her, then picked her up. The bar wasn't far from his villa. They got back in under 30 minutes. He laid the woman on the bed. His expression flickered for a moment. A year ago, the two of them had shared this very bed. Isabel Lopez blinked, struggled a little, then sat up. She looked at Jason Smith for a while, clearly unsure where she was. Then she giggled and pointed at him. "Jason Smith, why do I run into you everywhere? This is what they call being haunted." Jason Smith lowered his head and kissed her lips. His tongue caught the scent of wine lingering in her mouth. "No, this is what they call longing." He pulled her into his arms. "Isabel, you divorced Tony Camel. That should make you happy. Would you be happy if you divorced someone you loved, even if he was a total jerk?" Jason Smith's gaze darkened. He leaned in and kissed her again. "From now on, I'll be by your side." "You?" Isabel Lopez turned her face, resting it against his warm chest, and murmured, "And how long do you plan to stay?" For as long as I'm alive. Liar. I loved someone else. I've been divorced. What's good about a woman like me? Latina Lopez was right. She's just waiting to watch me get dumped again. Because the Yi family will never accept a divorced daughter-in-law. And you won't either. You're just in it for the thrill. When you're drunk, the alcohol rushes to your head. Words stuck in your chest finally break free, like a faucet bursting open. Jason Smith listened, his heart aching and strangely warm. He kissed her soft lips again, then pressed his forehead to hers and whispered just loud enough for the two of them to hear. Isabel, love is between two people. Just like no one could stop you from marrying Tony Camel back then. Your family can't stop you now. I love you more than you ever loved him. I'll stay. Isabel Lopez giggled at that, raising her hand and clumsily patting his face. Her fingers slowly traced his strong jawline, then brushed over his thin lips. She leaned in and kissed him more of a bite, really then snuggled into his chest, laughing softly. Honestly, I don't hate you. Being with Jason Smith didn't feel as awful as she'd imagined. Sometimes, he even made her heart flutter a little. Love was like a grave. She'd just clawed her way out. She wasn't ready to be buried again so soon. I know. So you have to learn to love me, too. Because I love you. So much. He kissed her dazed, wine-clouded eyes. His lips drifted down, entangling with hers in a slow, lingering kiss. Because I love you so much. She'd once said those exact words to Tony Camel, so foolishly, so wholeheartedly. Anyone who could say that must be a little crazy. But Jason Smith made her feel like she could be cherished, treasured, and treated with tenderness. She was tired of loving too hard. Now, she just wanted to be loved. Jason Smith, I want you. From now on, you belong to me and me alone. If you dare betray me, I swear you won't die a good death. Jason Smith will never betray Isabel Lopez. He flipped her underneath him, lifted her chin with his fingertips, and kissed her slowly. Isabel, this time, don't push me away. Don't leave me again. If you do, I'll lose my mind. A year ago, he tasted love for the first time, and he tasted the pain of being hurt by the one he loved. He could take it back then, but now, having her promise it felt like heaven. Losing it again would be unbearable. Love was heavy, but if it meant being with her, he'd carry the weight. Even if she regretted it later, he would never let go again. This love for him was all or nothing. Their passion burned wild, like a blaze out of control. Maybe it went a little too far. In the middle of the night, Isabel Lopez stirred in her sleep, parched with thirst. Jason Smith got up quickly to get her water, only to realize she had a fever. The villa was in the suburbs, a bit far from the hospital. Luckily, the best doctor in town lived right next door. You dragged me out of bed in the middle of the night, and I thought something serious happened. Turns out you're bringing women home now? Jason Smith sat on the edge of the bed, brows tightly furrowed. How is she? Just a regular fever. She'll be fine after the 4. Carlos Mera closed the medical kit, leaned slightly toward Jason Smith, and nudged him with his elbow, grinning suggestively. So, this is the legendary future sis-in-law? Tell me, did you two go a little too hard? Bro, I seriously didn't know you had it in you. Jason Smith glanced at him with a faint, cold look. Didn't expect the iron tree to finally bloom. But man, you sure know how to pick 'em. I mean, the Smith family probably won't be thrilled about a daughter-in-law like that, right? A woman like that? Jason Smith narrowed his phoenix eyes, danger flashing in them. Carlos Mera had known him for years. One look and he could tell Jason Smith was pissed. He quickly patted him on the shoulder and chuckled. All right, don't bite my head off. I just mean she's been married before. If you really plan on marrying her, you know your family's gonna be a tough crowd. Jason Smith lowered his gaze, fingers gently brushing across the woman's soft cheek. The Smith family isn't the problem, as long as Isabel agrees. Love was between two people. Marriage didn't need anyone else's approval. She was his woman, he'd protect her, no matter what. Carlos Mera nodded. Then I wish you and sis-in-law a fast walk down the aisle. I'm gonna get some sleep. Call me if anything comes up. Carlos, thanks. We're brothers, man. When Isabel Lopez woke up, her head was spinning, her mouth dry and sticky. She felt awful. Jason Smith. She reached out blindly to the side. Sis-in-law? You're awake? Came an unfamiliar male voice. Isabel Lopez froze, then quickly turned her head only to see a refined, handsome guy looking back at her. You are? Oh, I'm Carlos Mira, a friend of Jason Smith's. I'm also a doctor. You had a fever last night. He stayed up taking care of you, and now that he figured you'd be waking soon, he's in the kitchen cooking something for you. Isabel Lopez blinked. Jason Smith took care of her all night? He knows how to cook? What she really meant was, can anything he makes even be edible? Of course. He trained under a top chef. Jason Smith's the full package, really. Sis-in-law, hold on tight to that man and ever let go. Is that so? Hearing him hype Jason Smith up like that, Isabel Lopez couldn't help but laugh. What are you two chatting about that's got you smiling like that? Jason Smith pushed the door open and walked in.